As the Iran war shifts into a new and far more intense stage, is Trump now arming America's deadliest long-range missiles in a gamble to force a breakthrough from the air alone? As the conflict enters a do-or-die phase, is Washington trying to throw a wall of JASSM-ER missiles at Iran to break its defenses and will? When the Pentagon starts raiding its own highest-end stocks, does that show the Iran war has turned into a grinding endurance test that Washington did not fully plan for? With nearly the entire JASSM-ER arsenal now on the table, is the US quietly draining the global reserves it would normally hold back for Russia, China, and other flashpoints? As Trump boasts about decimating Iran's arsenal, is America's own stockpile of high-end weapons actually emptying even faster than Tehran's? The US is now tapping deep into its highest-end weapon stockpiles, as the Iran war drags on and increasingly looks like a test of sheer endurance and industrial capacity. As the conflict rolls into week 6, planners are lining up a fresh wave of massive long-range strikes aimed at Iran's remaining critical sites. According to a Bloomberg report, Washington is preparing to commit nearly its entire available inventory of JASSM-ER stealth cruise missiles to this campaign. Each JASSM-ER is a low observable cruise missile with a range of roughly 1,000 kilometers and a 1,000-pound class warhead designed to smash hardened targets. Late in March, commanders reportedly signed orders to pull JASSM-ER rounds out of Pacific Theater stockpiles and rush them toward the Middle East. Missiles from US homeland stocks and other overseas bases are being rerouted to CENTCOM hubs and British facilities closer to Iran. Once this movement is complete, only about 425 JASSM-ERs will be left from a pre-war stockpile of roughly 2,300 missiles. On top of that, around 75 missiles are said to be sidelined as unusable because of damage, aging, or unresolved technical issues. In just the first 4 weeks of operations, the US has already fired more than 1,000 JASSM-ER missiles at Iranian targets. Overall, roughly 2/3 of the entire JASSM family stockpile has been committed to the Iran fight, an unprecedented concentration on a single theater. These long-range strikes help limit immediate risk to US troops on the ground, but they are rapidly draining strategic reserves of precision weapons. Rebuilding that inventory will take years at current production rates, even if the fighting stopped tomorrow. The manufacturer is expected to turn out only around 396 JASSM-ER rounds this year under current plans. In theory, the line could be surged up to about 860 missiles per year if budgets and factory capacity are fully reprioritized toward JASSM. It's worth remembering that 47 JASSM-type missiles were already expended in the January raid to capture Venezuela's Nicolas Maduro, before the Iran war even began. On April 1st, Trump vowed that US firepower would send Iran back to the Stone Ages within 2 or 3 weeks. He did not clearly spell out whether he meant Iran's civilian economy, military machine, or leadership would bear the brunt of that threat. US and Israeli officials claim they have already knocked out a large share of Iran's air defense network since strikes began on February 28th. By April 2nd, the US Joint Chiefs were confident enough to send B-52 bombers directly over Iranian airspace for strike and show-of-force missions. That move suggested commanders believed the skies were safe enough to start using cheaper JDAM-type precision bombs instead of only standoff missiles. Yet the very next day, Iran managed to shoot down a US F-15E and damage an A-10 that was flying on a search mission. 2 US combat search and rescue helicopters were also hit by Iranian fire during the recovery effort, though both made it back to base. All of this is unfolding as Iran has already launched more than 1,600 missiles and around 4,000 Shahd-type drones in this war. Defense analysts estimate that just coping with the ballistic missile side of that threat would require at least 3,200 interceptor missiles. As the war grinds on, the US will face hard choices about whether to keep pouring high-end munitions into Iran, or hold some back for other strategic theaters waiting in the wings.